Is there any site? This doesn't mean this is a part of the same question. If gold is hitting new records, the dollar is falling. Do you feel how far is it going to fall?
Well, first of all, let's address gold and silver. If you take inflation official, since 1980, when gold was $8.50 an ounce, gold should be selling around $2,400 an ounce. If you take unofficial inflation, which is real inflation, it's $6,700 an ounce. Now, when applied to silver at $2,500 or so an ounce, silver should be selling at $50, maybe more. And if it goes to $6,700 on gold, I would assume that silver will go to $100 or more because it's in short supply as well. Now, as far as the dollar is concerned, we had a high of 124 in the USDX. That's an index, 6 major currencies versus the dollar on a weighted basis that trades 24/7 throughout the world.
Bob,
the high was 124. The high recently in May, beginning of May, was 89.5. 2 years ago, it was 71.18. It's 75 right now, headed to 71.72. It'll probably bounce off there, and sometime next year, we'll visit 65, 60, 55, 50, somewhere in there. The outer limits, 40. That's if we don't have a war. And so the dollar's going to go down in value almost 50% from where it is. Gold and silver are going to go up substantially. And you know, I've been on this program for years now, and I projected all this, and it's all a matter of record in the tapes that Drew has that I've been right on, not only on this, but 98% of my predictions.
And I do have those tapes, and those archives are available free of charge, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a specific show that you want, just let me know. I can give you the direct links for those shows as well. Mr. Chapman, another report comes in from Kansas City that foreclosures have surpassed another 300,000 for the 8th straight month. The people in Washington say that we're coming out of this recession, and all we see here in Kansas City Metro is that we're literally going into a depression. They're calling this a recession, and what I see is a depression. Can you enlighten me more from the falsities that Realty Track is putting forth?
Well, first of all, Realty Track and Schiller, the economist, are pretty much right on. And yes, we are in a depression. And it's going to be, for the next 2 to 3 years, an inflationary depression. It was 2 years ago as well, but because of the fallout that we've had in the credit crisis, the inflation rate has dropped from 14% down to 6.11%. It did get a little bit lower than that over the last couple of years. We're going back up to 14%. And the government will say, well, it's 5%. They lie about everything. And so that is where that is headed.
Earlier this week, Mr. Chairman...
Oh, and wait a minute, Drew. And there's also part of that I didn't answer, and that is that real estate, residential, will go down another 20%, and in some areas more. And as far as commercial real estate is concerned, it's already dropped 30%. It's going to drop another 45%. And it's going to be a major, major scandal. We're talking $1 trillion a year for the next 3 years. That's $3 trillion. And that's equal to the subprime crisis. And the crisis that we have in residential right now is infinitely bigger than the subprime problem. Because you've got Alta, you've got pick and pay loans, and then you've also got people with good jobs, quality loans, that are defaulting as well. And so it's not a very good scene. And yes, we are in a depression.
Well, you answered the next question. I'll skip that and go to the one after that. Mr. Chapman, in Washington D.C., Freddie and Fannie Mae do not have a man over them. Obama is sitting back on his posterior and not appointing a new director. How much time does he really need to appoint somebody? And is this lack of an appointment hurting Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac?
No, it's not hurting them. They're bankrupt. The American taxpayer is subsidizing them. They probably hold, unsure, of all the homes in America, 50% are already paid for. This is a ballpark figure. And the other 50% are mortgages. And out of that, Fannie, Freddie, Ginnie, and FHA own about 90% of them. So I wrote an article 6 years ago when I said that Fannie and Freddie were broke, and everybody laughed at me. And I said that the government's going to end up owning 50% of the homes in America, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Mr. Chapman, today it was announced that 7 of the Wall Street lobbyists have Capitol Hill, hoping to convince the Congress that the financial firms are dismantling financial firms around the United States is a bad idea. What say you with the idea of the financial industry being dismantled, and the fact that Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac are in a dire strait, and Americans who own their own homes are being attacked by these big banks, in as much as the big banks want people to take equity out of their home or remortgage a home that's bought and paid for. Do you have any advice on that? And Mr. Chapman,
well, first of all, unless you're...
Mr. Chapman, can you hold that point? We've got to take a break. I just got the word. We're trying to get my mic straightened out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drew Rains. We will be back with a Marines Disquisition and Bob Chapman of the International Forecaster in just a few minutes. Be patient with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're working on it as best we can.